Okay, I have Pauline here, and we've had a short chat, and just to kind of set the scene that you're ready to just jump in. So jump in, and so we think there might be a stuck place. So that's going to be probably a place to start, is tell me about the stuck place, and then I'll figure out if that's what we're going to enter into and what map or process or whatever the heck we might do here.
Yeah, that sounds good, because I did the future map with you, future self map, and and I've had this vision of moving back to Australia, and pieces like that. So, and I know that will happen somewhere between now and 2025 for my piece. But my stuck piece is around my marketing in my business. Because I have this future self that I know is going to be in another country, my marketing here gets stuck, because it's sort of like, well, there's two things that go on. One is the people that will work with me will just work with me, and I'll just leave that to the law of attraction, and, that will just happen. And then there's the other piece of me, which is, why would I want to build a business, if I'm going to be moving, And so I think that is a place in my business that I can...
What's going on for you with your business with pandemic? This stuff is in the context of the pandemic, economic recovery and stuff. So tell me a little bit about that, so I know how to tie it into the context. It may not, maybe it's not impacting you at all, but I'm just kind of curious.
Well, it did impact me, because I don't do the face-to-face, but the face-to-face will come back, face-to-face training. So I'm doing the change management certification for individuals and certifying them. And the beauty of COVID is that the head company brought a bunch of resources to play that I hadn't got a chance to get around to doing. And they've helped me launch, and next week I go live with my virtual instruction.
Wow, cool.
I'm very comfortable with that. Today I did an ICF coaching webinar, and it just goes to show that I'm comfortable using all of this technology, and have been. That was kind of like my little peeve at the beginning of COVID, was that I've been doing all of this stuff, and now everybody's caught up.
Yeah, it was your differentiator. I know. I can relate to that too. Yeah, there's a mass entry now happening, visual skills and other things online.
Yeah.
Yep.
So looking for that edge, and I know that I have an edge. Sort of deep down, I have what I have to offer, and people will come. But on the business side of me, if I'm to make this whole move back to Australia, you've got the financial cost of that. It costs so much to move different things back. And I need to build my business so that I can afford to do that. And so that's my underlying driver, is I know I have to do it. But when it comes to doing that marketing, it's just, it'll happen. Leave it to universe.
For you to move back there, how complicated is that? Is it you moving back? Is it a household, a family moving back? Who's back there? How long you been gone?
Yeah, my oldest son has moved back. My husband does not want to work there. And so we both still have like 15 years of work left. And so the idea would be to be able to work in both countries.
Okay.
Sort of one of the reasons I got out of government and to start this was to actually support me to be able to do both. And so I'd like to be able to, spend 3 months there doing a contract or working on stuff, and then 3 months back here. And so being online is perfect for that kind of business.
And you had mentioned 2025, so 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So physically, like being able to do some projects there, or everybody being moved in 5 years?
Me, probably a little bit more permanently, in the sense of, knowing that might be, have everything as a house set up and everything like that. So what does that look like? Sort of be there. 5 years gives the younger son the opportunity to finish university.
Mm.
So his first part of university, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me, again, a little bit more freedom with where I am.
And there's 10 years in there where your husband does not want to work in Australia.
Yeah, he wants to work from here. He's got a very good job here. So that's why, sort of like we're both very comfortable being able to do transit. But COVID puts a kink in that.
Yeah.
What will transit look like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it will be better. Maybe it will be worse. I don't know.
Right.
So for me, I've always thought about, flying between the two countries and stuff like that. But, COVID presents.
I have a couple in my practice, and they live in 2 different states and have 2 different houses. And they did live together at one time, but they're both executives with posh positions and needed to and didn't want to leave their organizations. So they do a lot of traveling back and forth, and it works really nicely for them.
Yeah, I think it can. And I think that's my dream, my ultimate dream is to do that. And I think it's a calling. And I think my career and my path and my relationships are set up in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
your husband Australian?
He's Canadian. Okay.
But he's okay to go there. He just doesn't work. So he'd kind of finish off his career and then go there for retirement?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least he's not totally nixed on the whole idea. Yeah. That would be a little more challenging. Yeah. Huh. Well, where to go? Interesting. I think we got to go back to your future self and talk to her a bit more. When you did the future self, I'm guessing that's with the process group. So when we did all kind of parallel processing, how far out did you go?
I went to that 2025 piece.
Okay. Yep.
And, sort of brought back some wisdom and stuff like that. There's things that I need to do. And that's where the stuckness came up. You got to get on this,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so we'll see what she has to say. We might also, we can find out, we can either do it now. I'm feeling the pull to a future self, right? So another stretch of time. So either we talk about that now and figure it out right now, or we just wait, we go to 2025 and it'll organically emerge if it needs to. If she doesn't have all the answers, then we can go to an aspect of your consciousness that's, out there further. So as I laid that out, do you have any reaction to that?
Yeah, no, it just, any wisdom that I can gain from what's in the stars, it would be good.
Okay, so let's start there. We'll go to the 2025 and we'll see. And this, in a way, I'm also hearing a desire for an action plan. And I'm hearing this stuff in there about the marketing. So there's, some trouble at the border stuff about marketing. So that's kind of got me intrigued too, right? About what's up with that, and is there an orphan in there, or what's going on? So we got a lot to poke around with and see, right? So we'll just trust the process. And you're someone very gifted at being able to work with different aspects of your consciousness and with the subtle energy and everything too. So this will be fun and interesting. Okay. So I'm going to screen share and I'm going to go grab a future self map. I still have the map up from the process group earlier today. We did polarity on real news, fake news. It was juicy. I'm really looking forward to doing it with an individual too. It's a little tricky to do in a group where, yeah.
It's all fake news, right?
So if you want to, or all real news, yeah. Okay.
Anybody who thought they weren't in, I've always said this, anybody that thought they were getting free information really is not.
There's no free lunches. Yes. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Pictures. Oops. There it is. I just have to give this a quick save. And my mouse disappears when I bring it over to my tablet. Always so fun to find it.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll just do. Is that your heartbeat?
Somebody's banging. Somebody's doing something.
Home renovations. A lot of those going on.
Not in my house. Well, there is a little bit of work going on in my house relating to that.
I'm in a collective of art studios, and the guy above me usually teaches at the college printmaking. And all of his courses has been canceled. And so now he's taken up furniture making. Do you know what is used for furniture making? Talking about thumping and sounds, buzz saws.
Oh.
And, you know, whatever things, gnarly things that go, and like right above me and the lights flicker. So we're good. It's nice and quiet here right now. I probably jinxed it by saying it. So we'll see if he shows up.
I'm just going to move your map to my other screen and put you on
so
where
you
the
can see
camera
it.
is. Otherwise, I won't look at you.
Got ya.
And
Yeah.
I need to look at you.
And your eyes will be closed a lot of this too. So just know that when you open them, I'll be taking your notes. So, and I'll orient you to the notes. So don't feel like you have to watch the notes.
Looks good.
Okay. So let's both just take a couple of deep breaths and shift our state a little bit. So in breath, just relaxation, peace, and calm. Oh, out breath, just letting anything slide off that needs to slide off. If you've been busy with Zoom meetings or...
Let them all go.
Yeah, let them go, and the hubbub and the next door neighbor, and that's totally fine. That can just help us go deeper, so we can use that. No big deal. Hear those thumps? It's just thump, thump, thump on your way to your future self. Oh, that feels nice. Okay, and you may recall when you visited your future self last time, you probably had something that brought you to her. And if you remember what that thing is, you can use it or you can choose something else, whatever you want.
They were balloons.
Ah.
So this is a bunch of balloons.
Okay, sweet.
Like Mary Poppins.
I love that. Okay, good. So having this collection of balloons and like Mary Poppins, just grabbing hold of them and then lifting you up. And you're starting to rise up above, which is kind of nice, up above 2020 and May and all the hubbub and stuff going on, and you kind of catch a current. And this is nice and secure, and these balloons know exactly where they're taking you, and your future self on the other end knows you're coming via the balloons, so she's prepping, getting ready for your arrival. And you hit this thermal, and you just glide, and you glide past 2020, and you cross that line into 2021, and you just keep on going. It picks up speed safely and smoothly and just magnificently. Goes through those seasons and quarters of 2021 and cross that barrier into 22. You might be traveling around the world. You might be up in the layers. Wherever you go is fine. These balloons know where to take you, and they take you into 2023. And same thing, just swiftly and smoothly and confidently, they take you through to 2024. And the same thing happens through those quarters and seasons, just kind of gently whipping you along. And you cross into 2025 and you start to come down into the time and place of your future self. She's in a month there. There's a day somewhere. The balloons know exactly where to take you. And they gently, just like Mary Poppins onto the roof, allow you to touch down somewhere where this future self of yours is. Remember that you may see things, you may just feel them, know them, sense them, smell them, taste them. If you feel like you're making it up, you are totally okay. And maybe feel that touchdown happening, making contact in her time and place. Feel that foot of yours and what you're wearing coming in contact with her terrain. And if your eyes are able to focus on it or however you feel it, what is that terrain?
It's grass.
Okay. And as you're coming into that grass, maybe you actually see her foot somewhere. Maybe she's found you and she's come up, and notice her foot and what she's wearing. And take her eyes up and take her all in. and first off, receive her welcome, because she knew you're coming. She loves you. She's always glad when you come for a visit. Nothing like being received by our future self. She the same as she was before? Notice if there's anything different. We're the same, however she is. Just kind of give me a sense of, as you get those impressions of her, how she is.
Calm.
Yeah, nice.
Knowing. Sipping.
Sipping?
Sipping coffee.
Sipping, okay, great. She's got her coffee. Good.
Or tea or something.
Yeah. Okay.
There's cold grass under my feet. Looking out, and it's all green.
Nice. She brought you a coffee?
It's early morning. The best time of day.
Now, I guess the question is, where is she? Which country is she in?
She could be any country, but I feel it's Australia.
Okay. Yeah, she's there.
She's home.
Okay. So going back, she's calm, she's knowing, she's sipping. She's got a little beverage there for you. Anything else that you notice about her as you're taking her in and reacclimatizing to her?
She's very aware of her surroundings, and there's an ease, no struggle. Just so much pleasure.
Nice word. Just soak that up. That's a nice vibration to come in contact with. Feel that ease and that pleasure and awareness and calm and knowing.
Everything is alive. Everything around you is alive.
See if there's anywhere she wants to lead you to sit down and have a chit chat.
It's on a porch or front deck.
Find yourself there, get comfy. Start sipping yourself if you're partaking. And you come, future self, she comes with a whack of questions. So which one do you want to start with?
Thank you. Grateful for the journey, the knowledge, the peace, the calm, the work that have got me to this place.
What does she do back as you say that to her?
Smiles. Yeah. Feel very welcomed. The connection is just like, it's just there.
Yeah, it's nice to savor that. So you're going to be the translator here. I'll pop out some of the questions. So future self, you're there in Australia. So my client Pauline back here in 2020, right? She's there in front of you. She's curious about bridging this divide, right? So how the heck does she get to be you? She's got some dilemmas. You'll remember COVID, at least how it was in 2020. So that was at that point in time impacting air travel. So this is a dilemma for her in 2020. Given how does she go between Canada and Australia, air travel is required. So let's maybe start there. And Pauline, if it's easy, you can also just embody her and talk from her if you care to. Yeah. So try that on for size, whichever option. You can just be yourself outside of her, or you can step on in there and be her. And that's who I can ask the questions to. I'm already asking the questions to her, but.
Yeah. Like air travel has changed.
Okay, good.
It's faster. It's more economic. It's like there's no time between.
Good. We had some release of technology by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Okay, so she's saying no biggie. And there was a question in 2020 about going back between Canada and Australia. And, you know, your 2020 self, or you being able to, maybe that's what you're living right now. I guess, what are you living right now? Are you going back and forth between the two? Are you spending a couple of months there on projects in each country? Are you working online? All of the above?
I think all of the above. It's a combination. Whatever the wind or the project that is of interest.
Okay.
It's kind of like the question that kind of popped up was, where am I needed? And to move with that and just go with that. Where am I needed? And answer the call.
Nice.
But at this moment, it's like sitting on that deck going, okay, it feels like I've just finished something. I'm sitting there and what's next? You know, sort of where is that? But I have questions about, you know, from the 2020 as how did I get here?
Yeah, good. See what she says about that.
So it's not the travel. It's not what's tying me to where I am. And I don't want to say money. It's the means to get there. To be able to do that both.
Okay.
To me, it's not even coming up as money. It's not means as in the travel, like the
right. The literal how. Yeah.
Literal. It's.
Go back in. I want to ask some stuff about the marketing and everything, because I think that's it. You know, the business building, the marketing. Like, how does one build a business between two countries? Which is, I think, the question. So go back in and embody her and channel her. She's in there. She's done it. She's doing it. So 2025 self. Pauline came in with some stuff about marketing that makes me curious, because I know her as a uber capable, you know, together person. And she's been able to move inside of organizations, go external. Of course, I've seen her do that in Canada. This is a stretch. I've done it myself. I have had clients who've done it between different countries and stuff. So what's going on with her? What was going on with you back in the day, right? You must have resolved this somehow. What was the block, would be my word, or barrier, but maybe it's not those things. What did you overcome?
Well, just what came up then was like a perception of who I am.
Okay.
and it's the perception of allowing me to be who I am. I don't even know if that was the right phrasing, but that's kind of what's coming, is in that ability.
So let me ask it that way. Go in and be her and channel it. Something needed to get removed for her to be more authentic, to release something. So was it afraid of what people thought, or abundance, or tall poppy syndrome, or something else?
I honestly getting, sort of like society needed to move. It needed to shift.
Okay. So it was a collective thing. It wasn't an individual thing. It was a system. The system needed. You couldn't do it until the system shifted.
And I think COVID has an answer there.
Yeah. Because our systems are changing.
Yeah, people are changing. Systems are changing. It doesn't matter where I work. Whereas before, it did matter where I worked.
Right. Yeah, and some systems, they were just a little kind of stodgy. They weren't kind of getting it. So COVID helped change a lot of that.
It's opening it. I don't say that it's made that change. It's opening it. And I know I just caught off to this side like a bridging the gap piece, which is like a doorway, an opening, an acceptance that this is the new way that we do work. So people don't question how it is that they just sign up. It doesn't matter where you are. Which on this side is going, oh no, but you have to have a marketing plan.
I'm so going to ask her about that. So that's okay. That's where your mind goes. Now you're like, okay, we got travel. Travel's not a problem. In fact, somehow it's faster, easier, and more economical. Awesome. And then it's like, no, it's not a block you. We just kind of had to wait to the world to catch up to what you wanted to do. And, things are opening. They're not all completely changed 2025, but there's enough leeway there that it's okay. Of course you work this way. It's okay. It's allowed. No biggie. Or it's a biggie, but a lot of people are doing it. Yeah. So, okay. So 2025 self, the 2021's got this bugaboo about marketing. What the heck is up with that?
Hey, I can hear it.
Yeah, what'd she say?
It's like, what the hell? Why is it so hard? Why is it taking you so long?
Okay.
It's almost like sort of like her instructing, my future self instructing me to just get off the pot.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put, get off the pot and just do it.
Quit messing around. Yeah, it really is like a real kick in the butt. Quit messing around. You know how to do it. Just get it done.
Okay, rattle it off. Go in, embody her, and let her speak it out. What's the doing? What's the plan? What's the broad swaths here?
You have the contacts. You have the people. Phone them up. You know what they need. Work with them. Build that team. Stop concerning yourself with employees because the new world is different. I don't have to have employees.
What do you have? Subcontractors?
Colleagues.
Colleagues. Perfect.
Yeah, colleagues. It's like seamless. This is their strength. This is my strength. We're just together. We're doing it. Don't worry about the money.
So if she's not worrying, what is she doing?
Allowing.
Nice. If you're hearing any yeah buts squeaking away there with the 2020 self, address the yeah buts 2025. What do you say to those concerns, fears, doubts?
The receptivity, for me, like what I'm hearing is receptivity. There's a new receptivity. And over here is like, it's saying, you know, well, you embodied this, you know, not wanting to do it this, you know, the standard way a long time ago. It's almost like there's a piece there, and like that I'm inventing a new way of doing this.
Great.
And I got a 2022 come up.
Okay.
There's something in that 2022 that creates that shift.
Okay. What's in there 2025? What's going on in 2022? What was a shift or a breakthrough? Internal or external?
I'm getting an internal.
Okay. Something within you.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's a struggle up until that point. It's kind of like a push. And then it just breaks. And then it's easy.
Okay. So she's just telling you you're going to wrestle with something for the next couple of years, but then the dam's going to break, and then it's going to be easy. There's going to be flow here. And that new thing's going to become apparent. Probably the things they're doing in these interim 2 years leading up to that, inform that, and then kaboom.
Yeah, that creation, that pot of creation. Like it really is, and getting this sense of, yeah, a pot. So the word stone soup comes into mind. And, you know, that just brings back a whole lot of things. And I'm trying not to be in the analytical side of it. But
no, it's coming out. I trust it.
It's a, sort of like, well, you know, sort of there's enough for everybody. And it's just flowing in and out. That's where the business lies. All the pieces fit together. And there's enough for sharing and giving, and because I do so much pro bono work in there, that pro bono work is, it's just like a gift. Yeah, that pot. It's that whole shift. Feeling that shift in my stomach.
That's where it's helpful, where you get in there and really embody that 2025, where she's been that shift. Where does that shift show up in her body or in her field?
In my gut.
Okay. So go to that gut. What's that gut feel like now?
It's not butterflies, but it's kind of like, you know, opening. This is like, it's full. It doesn't need anything. There's no wanting.
Mm-hmm. That feeling of full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Satiated. That you're there. You have it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel that plenty. Feel that abundance. Feel that having. Often we get very familiar with the quest of something or that being dangled off in the horizon, right? But actually, boom, it's dropped.
Mm.
It is. I am. I have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little bit to acclimatize to, wow, that's an interesting, unfamiliar feeling, but she's got it. She's done it. That's normal for her.
And I see that I'm back in this 2022. So it's like the 2025 is I've lived it for 3 years. So like it's there. It's this struggle between 2020 and 2022. That creation, that place of creation.
Mm.
I just got like
Goosebumpies.
stupid. Marketing is creating. Like forget marketing, just create. It's not marketing, it's creating.
Right. Excellent. There's the reframe. Woo, I got goosebumps now. Good.
It's like just create. Just stop framing it in that other sense.
Right.
Just create.
And how, what's it feel like to create?
Just so much lightness and receptivity. Like I just feel like, sort of when you're creating stuff, just allow that creation.
For me, it's always sparkly. I mean, I went through this whole creation phase and ran with it for 20 years. And now I'm in a new place, right? Where it's like, and I'm not trying, now I'm back. But for a while there, it was trying, right? And going back and remembering what that was like and transplanting it again, where you have that sparkle and that lightness. And it's like, you want to do it, like, it's so fun. So I hear that in what you're saying, that lightness, that receptivity, as you poke around and milk that, anything else you can get as you summon it.
That it's okay to be doing this work on my own. Don't, and that's not against others and creating with them or for them. It is about creating for self. This is me. This is creating. I'm allowed to create for me.
Just take that in, feel that.
Just surrounded, like that whole community gathering. I have the images of the Ubuntu, the feet in the center, all joined together.
So feeling that, it's interesting because it's alone yet together, right? So it's like you kind of create that, but then there's this real community and these colleagues and this doing something together. But you're the genesis, you're the creator, originator, maybe potentially the owner. Yeah,
Just the gatherer.
Summoner.
Yeah, bring them together. I just got that this is your best work. This is to bring them together. Bring it together.
Nice. Anything else you want to convey to her? I've got all sorts of notes, future self, but if there's anything else that you want on here that's going to stare back and be a reminder, right? Sometimes there's those rainy days, you need a reminder to pull out the future self map. What do you want to have staring back at her?
Just that freedom to just get it done. This time is so valuable to create. Create and invite.
You may have already given her a gift with the soup, with the stone soup, but is there anything else you want to give yourself gift-wise as you send her back to 2020?
Big fat check.
Excellent. Thank you. Take the big fat check.
I'll take that big fat abundance check.
Yeah, excellent.
Big fat abundance check. Endless supply. And true soup. True soup, it's just there. It's always riding and endless.
So tucking that big check into your purse, wallet, pocket, however you want to do it. Having her walk you back to the balloons. See if there's any last minute things you want to whisper to you.
You got this.
Oh, nice. Any final yeah buts? Are you able to hold it?
I'm able to hold it.
Yeah. So receiving her goodbye, knowing it's not goodbye forever, you can communicate with her at any time. She'll show up in your dreams, your intuitions. You guys have telepathy between you. But it is goodbye for this particular visit. So receive her goodbye, her well wishes to you. Like Mary Poppins, get yourself hooked up with those balloons. And when you're ready, starting to lift up above, giving that final nod and wink to the future self. Going up above that Australian setting, all that greenery and grass. Nice and secure with that check deposited away for the trip. Knowing it's sticking with you. As is the sense of doing it and the perspective around creating and inviting. Ubuntu, bringing it all together. Bringing all that back with you. Hitting that thermal stream. And the reverse happens, bringing you from 2020 and moving yourself back through those months and crossing the line into 2024. In reverse, going through those 4 quarters seasons and hitting the 2023 line. Same thing, flowing through the seasons and quarters of that year into 2022. Maybe coming close and taking a look at that 2022 self where that breakthrough happened, giving her a thumbs up and a wink,
Mm-hmm.
her waving up at you. blowing kisses, sending you vibes. And what do you know? You kind of go through that vibe cloud of her breakthrough, and you get a woof of it. Ooh, a shiver kind of goes through you as you feel that breakthrough. See if that self kind of says any messages up to you. What does she say?
It's just this knowing. It's just this, it's almost like, you know, sort of like having shared my story. I don't know. It's not a book.
She's been you. She knows who you are. She knows you went and she's right in between the two of you. She's familiar with 2025. She's familiar with 2020. And she's the one who's had the breakthrough. That's the bridge, that the link. She's the missing link.
That's a family of origin thing. Missing link.
Some magic happened for a new species to emerge. So,
it's a map.
Yeah, it happened there in 2022, whatever the heck it was.
And so you are here.
Yeah. So she's sending you her love and support, and you're feeling her breakthrough energy, and she's the link between your 2020 self and your 2025. And there's more versions of you beyond the 2025 too. All of you have future selves. Yeah. So knowing you'll become her and be there soon enough, but you got to go back to 2020. You're the one who's going to do the work to get to that 20. You're the bridger from 2020 to 2022. So those balloons continuing along from 22, continuing as you kind of go out of the view of her, crossing the line into 2021, coming back through the seasons and the quarters, however you line them up, of 2021. And then you cross that line, getting a little heavy again, getting back into 2020. Swirl going on in the world and all the stuff happening, and you're depositing yourself right there where you live in Canada, coming down for a landing, coming into the neighborhood. Mary Poppins balloons are dropping you off. What do you know? They go right through the house and right into your office there and deposit you right there in your chair. They're available for you at any time, but they kind of tuck over into their place, and there you are. When you're ready and fully inhabiting your 2020 self, still with connected to the 22 and the 25, that's all within you, and you've got that vibe and connection. But coming back to the place of 2020, opening the eyes, giving the limbs a stretch. You've got to whack a mess of notes in front of you. The map is not the journey, so the journey is inside you. The map's not the territory, but you know, it's some notes of what occurred, some highlights. Mm-hmm. In the big quote bubbles in the red, those are the main points from her. So she's like, just create. There's a new receptivity in the world. That's okay. The receptivity is there. And just get off the pot and just do it. Quit messing around. And as you look down into the advice and directions, he's saying people and systems are opening. There's this door here, right? You're walking through that door, a new way that we work. And bridging the gap, that 2022 self bridged that gap. She's saying phone your contacts, work with them, build your team, get over the stuff about employees. You don't have to do it all brick and mortar way. You can work with colleagues, right? You can do the virtual teaming, you can do all sorts of stuff. People in their own empowerment, their own strength come together. In the middle is all those footprints, is Ubuntu underneath the future self with the balloons. And the gatherer, you're bringing it together. That's your best work, is all those people building that team. Allow that money. You're inventing a new way. 2022 breaks it through. You've got a couple years to go through here. So do the stuff in front of you and it will become clearer. Creation pot. Over in the gift is that stone soup, enough for everybody. Sharing, giving, and that sense of abundance. Look at that big old check you got. And you got this, that reassurance from her, you got this. We've also got up in the top left there, underneath the characteristics, underneath the coffee, we've got the place of creation. Right? So that creating, this isn't about marketing, this is about creating. And for you, that's lightness and receptivity and okay to do stuff on your own. Fullness, right? So this total reframe, it's not about the typical marketing stuff, it's about creating.
Creating. It's beautiful.
Oh, it was very beautiful to do with you. Thank you.
It's very full. It's lovely.
Yeah. I've got the circle around her stomach there, right? And the line here with the opening and the fullness connected to that 22 there. Yeah. Full is a key word. Having, same as with that check and the soup. Yeah.
That shift is real.
Mm-hmm. All starts here in that energetic. Excellent. Okay, sweetie. So I will do a couple things with the map and send them to you.
Okay.
And, she's going to continue to communicate with you in lots of different ways, but you've also got this for looking back at you to help summon that and remember some of those key messages. Anything you want to say to complete?
No, I just noticed my own energy around that transition point around my voice. And every time we went through that process. And so I know that I have some work to do in my meditations and that to clear that and to understand what that is, what's coming up, about give voice to that. So, yeah, so that was an interesting body piece for me.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of it somatic, and also in the stomach with the fullness, right? So there's a chunk happening here with this next 2-year period-ish. Not quite sure what your month was you went to, so it might be less than 2 years, but whatever that month is that in 2022, right? So there's a gestation period, and so just having that patience, right? It's part of this creation process. Gestation process, right? Like just exploration, like you don't have to know it all. The process will show itself to you. So back to what you were saying earlier too about attracting the right things to you. You've already got your contacts. So this will be interesting as you start doing your network and seeing what unfolds here, right? Where that leads you. And already you've got a big thing that's about to pop, right? With taking everything online and now doing what you're doing online. So it's going to be fascinating where this takes you.
Yeah. It's opportunity. That's for sure. It's as if when if there's still that connection to the collective is there, that this is, your timing is just a little bit ahead of it. So you're preparing for that.
Well, and it was interesting too, because some of it is an individual thing. You needed to reframe the marketing, right? So that was a block. And what you're saying about the throat is an individual thing potentially too. But it was really interesting to me to hear that, no, it's a collective, it's a systems thing. So there's things, and that makes sense, if there's things going on. It's hard when we're ahead of the curve because you got to wait for the rest of it to kind of catch up, right? And you don't necessarily know that's happening while it's happening. So, it feels very odd and weird, and it's only in hindsight they get the validation. At least that's what I feel myself. So it's kind of awkward when you until it shows up and you go, oh, that's what was going on. I was actually ahead of the curve instead of behind. Yeah, I'm not a loser. Yay! I actually have foresight. What do you know?
Yeah, some real connection.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you.
You are very welcome. My pleasure. There may be some other stuff on that community support page too. So as you're working with the throat stuff, I know you're going to do it in your meditations. Orphan rescue. just kind of feeling there's something there. So you might, if you haven't already poked around the orphan rescue protocol, that's a good one. And it has on that page, a very thorough ebook with instructions, and over on the page where this one will be posted with the recorded sessions, there's a couple of orphan rescue examples in there too, if you're looking for, guidance or parallel processing on that one. And yeah, I'll see you in the process pop up. Keep me posted.
I will.
Look forward to hearing how this unfolds for you. And thank you so much for doing this, being willing to have the recording, because as you know, the parallel processing helps other people, and people around the world are watching these and connecting in, and you will maybe give people a conveyance idea with the balloon, but also that, so much in here at many different levels, and also that, I think, reassurance that stuff does go on beyond COVID here. And something does happen with air travel too, with the faster and easier, more economical. So some stuff's going to happen over these next 5 years. Good to know.
It's all good.
Yeah, part of a bigger picture. Okay, thanks very much, Pauline.
Thanks, Christina.
Yeah, take good care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.